All right. So somebody mentioned in the comments, do you do a script when you do your... Well, I do visuals. I used to do rounds for DNRS. I got a stone in my shoe. Good times. Look at that. I did have a script. I followed, somewhat the DNRS script. What was it? It was stop. My brain is in a rut, causing my limbic system to go haywire. In the past, I'd freak out, but now I know it's an big impairment. Thank you for blah, 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 blah. Like, mine was a little different, but it was kind of, it turned into a song, and then it turned into a rap. And after a while, I did it for 8 months. And it was good because you kind of get into a flow easy, right? Because you remember it off by heart. But I started to notice that, it's pointless. I don't need this. I know what I'm doing. I know what the process is. My brain knows what we're doing. And I don't need to say this saying or this script over and over again, because you're not really absorbing it every time you say it, right? Just like mantras. Or like, sorry, I got cut off there. Affirmations. Affirmations, I thought they were used wrong, because people used affirmations to replace an old thought. So by ripping out an old thought and you push in the new affirmation, you repeat it 1,000 times, and then your brain must absorb it and must, have that must be the new program by forcing in a new thought and repeating it 1,000,000 times. It doesn't do anything. The affirmations for me are just reminders to put you in that buzz. It's like these buzzwords that put you in that thought, into that vibration. So I think if you repeat affirmations every day, it's just a reminder to get into that zone. That's it. I don't think affirmations work when it comes to, reprogramming, because you can say it 1 billion times and you'll still be running the old program. It's a form of resistance, right? You're forcefully trying to change a program by ripping out an old one and putting in a new one. So I just stopped doing that, because I wasn't really paying attention when I was saying stop. I more had fun with it because it was like a rap, and I was saying it every day. But I'm glad that I did it, because it got me into the zone, right? And hey, that's good enough. But then I started changing it. I made my own version, right? And I think everybody should make their own version, because it's not going to affect your recovery if you tweak it. Make it yours. I think it'll actually work better for you. So let's say if you're somebody who has this religion or that religion, or you're not very religious, you're more spiritual, or this, well, then make it your own. For me, the new one that I started was, what was it? Oh, I want to thank my guides, my higher self, GS. I want to thank consciousness. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for protecting my dogs and my family and blah, 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 blah. I want to thank my limbic system for protecting me, but we're going to run a new program, and we're going to keep doing this for the rest of our lives, because life throws us curveballs, and we're going to recalibrate. Come on, guys. Go right over there. Come on. We're going to recalibrate and bring down our limbic system to a lower baseline and do this for the rest of our lives. And then I take a deep breath, go, all right, let's get started. And usually the first 5 minutes, there might be unresolved feelings that want to come up, because it's, you slept, new day, high cortisol. There's some things already knocking at the door, right? Some thoughts, feelings that need to be felt. So I'm like, all right, Limby, show me what you got. Whatever feelings they are, get in line, guys. And they start getting in line. They're like, me, moo, I'm next. All right, what do you got, Limby? And then I spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And this is even when you're recovered. This is even when you're the healthiest. If you want to stay healthy and recovered, you want to start feeling your feelings. Get, rid of those loads constantly, every day. It's a meeting with yourself, right? So then, I would take 5 minutes. Something would come up that I'm even aware of. I'm like, oh, you're up. Okay. I guess we got to feel you. I didn't notice that. Being aware of your loads. Like, okay, let's feel you. All right. And then I'm like, all right, let's start the day. I'll be like, want to thank my guys, when I say blah, 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 blah. And then you do it in whatever order you want. You can feel first, or do your little mini script, or you can do your mini script and go right into the feelings. And then I go, all right, what do you want to talk us? You want to talk about a past memory? Sure. And usually, you have a book, you go into past memory, and then you just start with the past memory, so you're not dicking around. You go point and start doing your past memory. Get into the zone, feel the feelings, go into detail, sit in a dose. Nice detail, describe all the surroundings. And if the 7 minutes or 15 minutes is up and you're in the zone, keep going. Don't worry about the time. Just keep going. You want to sit in the zone. That's the point. Time isn't really important when it comes to that. So keep going. And then you go into your visuals. Do that for the remainder of the time, and then that's it. So what I ended up doing, after recovery, I didn't do as many past memories anymore. I mostly did 4 future visuals. So everything was future visuals, because I was getting dosed with that. That's fine with me. Sometimes I would bring up an old visual, just because maybe that day I wanted to, and something came up and I'd be like, hey, that reminds me of. Okay. So it's more free. It's more like a free, casual visuals, right? And so now I just do constantly future visuals, as if they are now. And then I'll do a visual where I'm visiting myself in the future and going, yep, this is me 5 years from now. How much? Just going to give you some advice. Blah, 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 blah. I have fun with it a little bit that way. And it's good for business. It's good for manifesting my life. It's good for creating your reality, creating what you want to do in your life. So this isn't just like mentally and physically. This goes beyond that. This goes spiritually, and you're literally creating your reality around you by getting into that mindset. And that's what I use them for now, right? And life will send you curveballs, and you will, need to keep doing this. For me, I want to keep doing this. For other people that recovered, they didn't want to do this anymore. They just wanted to live life. But I always want to keep my bucket empty. I always want to be in the restorative. I want to always restore, right? Have my baseline really low so that I can process things with ease and be in peace. So the reason why I chose my car is because I knew I wouldn't be interrupted. Well, first I take my car, I drive to like a parking lot in like a trail area where I know there's not much traffic, where I'm alone. You can barely hear the city, right? First I get a tea with my dog. Come back. This is when I started, when I had a senior dog. Come back, park somewhere and turn off the car, sip a tea, get my book out. I'd have like a couple books. One book was just future ideas, business. Then I had another book of all my memories, structured. I also had a bunch of Post-it notes that I used to keep all around my car, just to keep yourself reminders, because when you're in the thick of it, you forget a lot of the methods, even though you know them inside out. But when you're in the thick of it, you need to grab through that. Oh, what do I do? How do I allow again? I used to write down buzzwords on Post-it notes, and I swear I had 15 Post-it notes in my car. And there was a few times where people be sitting in my car, like if I'm driving somebody, and I'm totally forgot I have these Post-it notes up because I'm so used to them, and they're probably thinking, "What the hell is this guy? What does this say? What? This guy's a weirdo, right?" And yeah, I guess I didn't care. I might have looked dumb or crazy or fucking whatever, but I had to do what I had to do. I had calendars, Post-it notes everywhere. I had reminders on my hands, right? We'll talk about my reminders. I'll make a separate video, probably a couple videos, and I'll bring out all the Post-it notes, all the buzzwords that I had, I needed them to keep me in, because the limbic system was constantly throwing the heavy duty looping OCD thoughts and doubt, and I was lost constantly. So I needed the buzzwords to remind me. I needed reminders, or else I'd get lost in the storm, right? So it's like almost like the lighthouses. I had lighthouses everywhere that were directing me to, oh yeah, stay on the path. Oh, helmet, you're off the path. Remember that? Read that post-it note. Oh right, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? So everybody's going, yeah, I know what you mean. So I did that also. I'm gonna have to make a separate video because it's a totally big topic. Because I know what it's like. You know, you try to be as prepared as possible, but it's just never enough, right? It never seems like it's enough. Not that you need it. I'm just telling you what worked for me, because I'm a person that needed all the help all the time. So, yeah. So the reason why I was in the car is because it's quiet. You know, you're comfortable. You're just sitting down comfy. You can turn the heat on, right? Your ass warmers are on, right? You're sipping some tea, right? That's dose, right? You look over at your dog, right? You're like, hey buddy, you okay? You need some water? Okay, here you go. All right, you're good. Okay, buddy, just chill out. I'm gonna do these rounds. And then the dog would usually sleep, because they, you know, at first they're like, what are you doing here? What are you doing? And then they get into a routine, and then eventually they enjoy it. And then, you know, you're doing your rounds. This could be in the middle of January. And all of a sudden it starts to snow, and you're experiencing the outside, being out in nature. You put the windows down, right? You're in the middle of doing your rounds, and then you take a break, and you see blue jays flying by, a cardinal, a deer, right? You're really absorbing your nature. You're really living in the moment, as they like to say. And then you see the snow, the snowflakes falling, and that's when peace hits. You're like, oh man, even though your brain's in a storm, you still get little snippets of peace. And then you're like, all right, let's get back at it. And I used my phone, right? So my phone was my way of sticking with the rounds, because I would record. I would record all my rounds. So they were all, I would know, oh shit, I got 10 minutes to go. All right, let's record. Right? And if I ever needed to listen to them, they were there. If I was ever going through an ebb or an old symptom would pop up, I'd go through my notes. Sorry, I've got a burp. I go through my notes and go, oh, right. I dealt with this 5 months ago. Let me take a listen. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Because, your limbic system does not like to remind you. It likes to make you forget, because that's when you're at your weakest, because you can't remember the resources that you gained and learned to battle this, right? Oh my goodness. You found the fucking tennis ball. We were looking for that. Good job. So I use my phone to record, and it's a great tool because you keep everything on file, right? You can keep tons of audio files. You can bring a hard drive and you can download them on there and make room onto your phone, and then keep recording. And then I did it for I started 3 years ago, and I have probably thousands of files, right? But it's a great way to force yourself to do it, because you have to say your visuals, right? You have to say them, be vocal about them. And when the phone's there recording, it's kind of like, I'm recording, let's get to it. And at first it's awkward because you think, oh fuck, I'm being recorded. Oh shit, am I doing this right? I'm fucking up. But you get used to it. You don't care after a while, right? So then, yeah, you start recording your visuals. It's a great tool. You become comfortable with it. It's kind of like you're part of a team, right? Team towards recovery and doing your visuals, so that you can't slack off. You're like, well, I got to press record. Boop. And you know what? Eventually you start to really enjoy doing your visuals, because it becomes this task that you do every day. You get motivated. And then when you're done, you're like, oh, great. I'm finished my rounds today. This is awesome. Okay, now what do I got to do? Let's go through my calendar. Okay, groceries, okay, get coffee. Okay, I gotta go and get tires for the winter tires, and then I gotta go make an appointment for, right? You schedule out your day, even though your brain is in hell with all these doom thoughts, OCD looping thoughts, second by second. You gotta keep going with life. Engage, right? Get up in the morning, do your bed, listen to a daily dare, download the app. It's only 10 minutes every day. You listen to your daily dare because it reminds you of the methods. And then you make your bed, you take a shower or whatever, and you're out the door. You get your tea, and for that day, you're working on yourself, right? You don't hang out at home all day doing nothing because you will lose. Guaranteed, you will lose. Your security system will overtake. It'll win, right? It'll keep you stuck. So you have to get out there like it's your new job. That's what I did. So I think one of the questions was, let me think. So being in the car, is that something, why do you go in the car? Oh, it's because it's quiet and peaceful and I'm alone, no interruptions. So that's the important part with being in the car. And I would have a recording device, my phone. I would use my phone to record. I didn't want somebody to hear that because it's kind of embarrassing. It's awkward. It's kind of like, I want to be alone and to be able to do this freely. So somebody said, do you have to trigger yourself when you're doing your hour rounds? No, not at all. I kept my triggering and rounds separate. So I just did my rounds, my 1 hour every day in the morning for 1 hour, 2 past memories, 2 future memories, and that's it. No more rounds for the day. No more rounds. You do your 1 hour. Keep it simple and fuck off. That's it. I don't see, that's what I did. I don't see where I'm doing visuals now. I don't do visuals for another day. Rounds, visuals, you call it rounds, I call it visuals. Right? You leave it alone. Done. You watch another video I have. It talks about how incremental training and rounds aren't necessary. And then I do my exposure. This is where you trigger yourself. They call it incremental training. I call it exposures. It's a little different. Watch a video on that. And I don't use rounds in it in my or visuals in my exposures. I don't. I just do exposure, and I have a different method that I do. It works quicker. It's easier, less resistance, and it moves you forward faster. So watch the videos on that. So yeah. So that's how you get in the zone. You just you create your own script. Create your own script and use it. And then eventually, if you don't want to use a script, don't. If you want to jump right to it, if you want to go, all right, I'm going to start right now. I want to thank my guides and my higher self, and I want to thank, give the thank yous, and then get right to it. That's what I do sometimes. I just start thanking. I have a little bit of gratitude. I go, thank you for protecting me. I want to thank my guides, my higher self, GS. Thanks for protecting my family. And I'm grateful for this beautiful day, this beautiful morning. Yeah, it's raining, or it's cloudy, or it's sunny like it is right now. I'm grateful for that. All right, let's get started. Blue, 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 right? Then you start going. You do that for an hour in your car. Like right now, I'm able to do it while walking. So if you're a person that can't do 2 things at the same time, or if it's going to affect your focus, don't do it. Here's another important part I guess I forgot to bring up. In the beginning, I used to do it sitting down in the car or whatever, and I just had problems because I was just too overwhelmed with thoughts, right? So then I tried walking, right? So I would go, because I did my walking every day, 3 hours every day I went for a walk. I did like 10 kilometers a day of walking, and I did my rounds while I was walking. But then at the time, Annie from DNRS said, you should not go on a walk and do your rounds because then you're not focused on your rounds. Because you could be sidetracked by the birds or the trees or the grass or the blah, 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 right? So that triggered me. I was like, oh, fuck. Shit, I've been doing this for 6 months. Did all this work go for nothing? Am I starting from scratch? And I was triggering about that for like I think a couple of weeks actually. So then I went back to being in the car, right? But now now I find that it doesn't really matter where you do it. If you enjoy going on a walk and you're doing your rounds, as long as you're focusing on it, that's good. As long as you're sitting in dose, that's all that matters. As long as you're getting into details of the visual or rounds, whichever version you're doing, right? That's all that matters. If you get sidetracked while you're walking by what you're seeing, that's great. That's okay to be sidetracked, because this brings me into dose, right? Like seeing the fall colors coming alive brings me into dose, and I could be doing my rounds, and that's great. At the end of the day, you're just taking time to be in dose. So you don't have to follow their rules perfectly, because you can recover just as much doing it, tweaking it the way you want. And I think it actually works better, because everybody works, when it comes to creating your own way of flowing, everyone's different, right? As long as you're sitting in a dose and doing it for 1 hour every day, that's all that matters. So yeah, so then I did a mixture. Then I went, you know what? I like walking and doing rounds. So what if I do my hour in the car? So I almost doubled up on rounds. Just, because I was like a brown noser. I was like, fuck it, you know what? I'm doing 2 hours a day. So I did my hour, and then I went for my walk, and I did my rounds during my walk. And I loved it, because I could do my walk and also visualize, my memories, the future, I was there, but I wasn't there. I was still, doing both at the same time. And it was great. And time fucking flies. You're walking, you're like, oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Oh, look, a squirrel just walked over oh my goodness, there's a guy that's got this funny shirt, blah, blah, blah. Get sidetracked, you laugh, right? You're engaging, you're kind of elevating and doing rounds or visuals, whichever you want to do, at the same time, which is great, right? And a byproduct is you're getting some exercise, you're in nature. Elevate, recalibrate, and do your visuals, bring your baseline down. Why not do it all? If you can do it. If you're a person that can't, that's like, you walk, you're like, I can't think about thoughts because I can only do one thing at the same time. Then don't, just do one thing at a time. Don't do two things, whatever. So yeah, there's some things I can't do two things at the same time. But if you can, then go ahead, have a party. Have a visual party. Whatever makes you happy, do it. There's no rules. Well, a couple rules, but don't go crazy. As long as you're in dose and you're enjoying it and you're doing it, as long as you're committing to 1 hour a day, and you're enjoying it eventually, then you've hit the perfect recipe. So just stick to that routine. People, I've done this. People are worried if they don't do it exactly the way it's supposed to be, that they will not recover. Well, so-and-so on the YouTube video, DNRS Success, did it like this, and my coach did it like that, and my friend in the forum said they did it like this, and shit. If I don't follow what they say, does that mean it was all for nothing? Does that mean I won't recover now? Trigger. Baseline goes up. New hits and pops happen. Right? You resist your thoughts, and then it becomes this big trigger. No, it doesn't. You don't have to. But I was like that, right? That's shit happened to me too. I was worried. Oh, if I'm not doing exactly how this person, if I don't wear that pink hat on the Tuesday and the Sunday, if I'm not wearing two left shoes, if I don't have, if I don't say this rhyme at the right time, if I don't have, if I don't believe in this religion, or if I don't, like everybody wants to follow the proper recipe to the T. But, you can get there. It doesn't have to be exact. Right? There's you see, because the more you put stress on, if you're doing it right, the more you're doing it wrong, right? The more you're gonna build resistance, stress, baseline goes up, the more you get stuck. So just ease off a bit, make your mistakes. This is a journey. Mistakes are great. We want mistakes. You have to have mistakes. They love being here. I love being here. It's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself, right? Because if you're hard on yourself, that goes against recovery. And I know I use recovery, the word, a lot, but try to also take that word out of your daily routine. Because the less you worry about the word recovery, the more it comes. Because I was the same. Like, I should be at recovery now. I should be recovery. Every day I probably use the word recovery 10 times. And every conversation I had with somebody in the groups or whatever was the word recovery was there. Just let it go. You're doing the work. It'll come when it comes. The less you chase it, the less you care that you're recovered, the more it comes. It chases you. And when you're recovered, you won't even know you're recovered. All of a sudden, it's like one day you're like, holy fuck, I think I'm recovered. Those symptoms are gone. That thought, that trigger, my goodness, is gone. I'm not looping like I used to. I got my brain back. Oh my God. I was too focused on this other shit over here. This is amazing, right? It just kind of happens. All right, I'm going to see what other topics I can hit up today. Leave some comments. And if you have people in your life, or even other DNRS people, or other programs, and you're, working with other people, and then they're stuck, and you think this could help them, please let them know. Bring them here. I'm here to help people, right? Eventually I'll write a book, and eventually I'll charge people for it, right? But they'll still have this for free, right? You don't really need a book. So my goal is to, write an audible book, and something that gets to the point, takes out all the things that you don't need. It's like a shortcut to recovery kind of a thing. Takes out all the fucking bad advice that's out there and just gets right to the point and makes it really simple to follow. See, like this? That's pretty good, eh? Right? And I'll also relate to you. I'll also go, oh shit, I was doing this. Blah, 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 blah. And you'll be like, oh my God, that's exactly, oh my God, right? But some of these other gurus, they don't talk about how they were fucking up and how they were thinking. They just give you bad advice. Do this. And when you look into the eye of the peacock, resist the thought. Avoid the thoughts. Run away. Distract. Be in the present moment. Bullshit. Right? No. I'll be like, oh, well, I did this and that. Fuck. And then I shit my pants. And then I tried that. Didn't work. Is that how you feel? Oh my God, that's how I feel. Oh my God. Right? But then I did this. And then things changed. Try it. Right with me, I'll be like, try this. And people are like, oh my God, oh my goodness, I see a shift. There's a shift. Proof is in the pudding. He's been there. He recovered. He's okay now. He had this amount of symptoms, right? He had, right? And he's okay now. So proof is in the pudding. I'm trying his methods. Fuck, they work. Okay, well, I know so many other people that could use this and help their lives because they're also stuck. Because there's so many programs that are giving bad advice. Yeah. So yeah, if you know anybody who needs the help, send them my way. Like, share, and subscribe.